welcome to episode 1 of Depressed. I am your host, Ryan Walsh. Our podcast is about depression, and we will be talking about everything about depression in each episode. We are going to go in depth on different topics about depression. In today's episode, we will be joined by one of our counselors here at Western Illinois University to talk about depression and what students can do to better their mental health on a daily basis. We will also talk to a couple students who will give their opinions on mental health and depression. We will be right back after this commercial break. Welcome back to Depressed. Before we meet our guest, let's have a thought about depression and college students. According to the Mayo Clinic, which provides programs and other resources, suicide is the third leading cause of death among college students, and about 30% of students reported feeling depressed in the last year. The stress of school, social life, student debt, and other personal issues can get pretty overwhelming for students and can cause depression as well as many other mental illnesses. And welcome back. I'm here with fellow WIU student Amanda Ludwig to talk about depression and any personal battles. Could you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Amanda. I am a WIU student. I am on my senior year, yippee, and I major in anthropology.
And my first question is, how would you describe depression in your own words?
A hole. Like, you just keep falling farther and farther, and sometimes you can grab onto something, try to climb your way out, but you just keep falling eventually. You know, it's tiring. You know, that's how I picture when I think of depression.
Mm-hmm. And my next question is, have you gone through any battles of depression? And you don't have to go into anything specific. You can just be general about it.
Yeah, no, I have been. I mean, any spell of depression is a battle to get through. You know, I've gone through some really bad stuff. You know, last semester was terrible for me. You know, not only mentally, but physically as well. Because I don't think people realize that, you know, your mental state also plays a toll on your physical state. And depression is the worst possible thing. But yeah, no, I have. I really have.
And my final question is, what do you think students can do to improve their mental health?
They need to focus on themselves. They need to really think about, you know, themselves, their future. Don't get caught up in drama, literally. The more you get caught up into drama, the harder it is for you. You know, you're already focusing on school and you're focusing on doing your work. You don't need to be focusing on anything else that isn't about you. You know, this is your future. This is, you know, your life. And don't let people, you know, stop that.
I totally understand that. And I appreciate you taking the time to sit down with me today. And thank you.
No problem.
And welcome back. I'm here with another fellow WIU student. Could you please introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Jacob Marshall. I'm a senior here at WIU, and I am currently majoring in engineering technology.
And my first question is, how would you describe depression in your own words?
Depression, I would say, it's a state of mind where nothing really matters, or you have no hope for anything. It's a time where you go through an event in your life and it just kind of takes over your mind, and next thing you know, grades are slipping, you're missing out on activities and events, and you just kind of slip into this trap where nothing matters to you. There's no hope for the future. There's just this weight that kind of fogs everything over, and it sucks.
And my second question is, what do you think students can do to improve their mental health?
Just stay active, honestly. I know it sounds simple, but honestly, just going outside and going for a walk helps tons. Just the fresh air, being outside, it helps brighten your mood. I mean, just standing in the sun has been proven to help. And, just staying active, staying out with friends and going to classes and keeping yourself distracted and staying focused on things. And, if you just keep that up, there's not really enough time for depression to really take over and control your life.
I appreciate you sitting down and taking the time to meet with me. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Welcome back to Depressed. I'm here joined with Amy Buick from the University Counseling Center to talk about depression and to kind of give some insight on students on how they can get some help and what resources there are for them.
So my name is Amy Buick. I am the director of the Counseling Center here at Western Illinois University.
My first question is, what can students do to prioritize their mental health?
Like mental well-being has different components, like it's emotional well-being, it's physical well-being, it's pursuing things that of our interest, it's social connectedness. But in order to really succeed and to be engaged in academics, you have to be healthy from many different perspectives. So if you're physically unwell, it's difficult to concentrate and pursue academics. If you're struggling emotionally, it's also difficult to concentrate and focus on academics. So I think it's critically important to look at general health and well-being from a holistic perspective.
What are some resources on campus that students can reach out to for help?
So there's a variety of resources. In fact, there's so many resources that students may just want to stop at one office and find out some more resources. But we at the Counseling Center offer free counseling. It's confidential. And we're all licensed counselors. So that's an amazing opportunity for students.
Do you have any advice for students who are struggling with depression on campus?
For students that are struggling with depression on campus, I think the first thing is finding out about depression. We have all sorts of screening tools on our website. There's information about depression. There's apps. So first thing I would do is I would learn about depression and find out the different symptoms. One of the things that I think is upsetting about depression is that one of the symptoms is feeling worthless and hopeless. And so if you had a cold and you had a cough, you wouldn't say, I'm a cold, right? You would say, oh, I have a cough. It's a symptom of my cold. But when students have depression, that symptom, feeling worthless and hopeless, becomes part of that identity. So that I don't deserve treatment, or I don't deserve help, or no one will be able to help me. So I think that's where counselors can help students understand feeling hopeless or feeling worthless. That's a symptom of an ailment, depression. And as that resolves, so will those feelings.
And that was our interview with Amy Buick from the University Counseling Center. And we will be right back after this commercial break. Let's talk about some things you can do to reach out for help if you need it. The first way is you could talk to someone, especially here on campus. We have a University Counseling Center where you can set up an appointment to talk to one of our counselors. The phone number is 309-298-2455. Again, it's 309-298-2455. Or you can go visit them in person on the first floor of Memorial Hall. The second method is you can call the WRU hotline, and that phone number is 309-298-3211. 309-298-3211. They take calls daily from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. And the final option is you could call the Suicide Prevention Hotline, and their phone number is 1-800-273-8255. Again, it's 1-800-273-8255. And you can call that number 24/7 anytime you need. You could also try to talk to family and friends and maybe open up about it if you feel comfortable. It's always up to you whenever you feel comfortable. If not, those numbers I just listed are more than happy to help you however you need. Thank you so much for listening to Depressed this week. We talked about depression on campus and what you can do to improve your mental health. I am your host, Ryan Mulch, and I will see you next week for a brand new episode.